This is Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
FDR wasn't bad for black men, but his family was racist. They used to be staunch supporters of the Confederacy.
Yeah. Yep. We got the Teddy Roosevelt statue in New York still with him with his two servants or darker servants walking by his horse.
Teddy Roosevelt was a flat out racist. He issued an executive order to the Army to, with any excuse, put as many black soldiers as you can contrive to do so in front of firing squads and execute them.
But they watch his legacy too. That's what they do. They love, they heroes. They invent Hollywood-style narratives for him.
He kept talking about the white man's burden, or it was a disgrace to the white race.
But he did invite Booker T. Washington to the White House for dinner. And he got
invited that
a lot of pushback.
He invited that useless handkerchief head to the White House. The only utility Booker T. Washington had was to the white folks by advocating the black folk to be satisfied with where you were. He was a bona fide enemy of the people.
Let me ask you this. I want to contrast.
W.B. Du Bois told everybody about it, too.
Well, I want to get your take on what's now. Compare and contrast Booker T. Washington with, let's say, Omarosa. What are your thoughts about Omarosa? Is she a hero to black folks?
What's Omarosa done?
She recorded conversation in the White House between her and the president and his chief of staff, and she wrote a book.
In other words, the question still, I know who she is, but
right.
What has she done?
Oh, what has she accomplished besides?
In other words, nothing.
Right.
See, what you got was salacious gossip.
Okay.
Facilitated by modern technology. And part of the problem we're facing is not really racism, but such as certain interests are using racism to compound a problem, which is the emasculation of the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real problem. And they're trying to foster bad relations between black men and white men to facilitate their emasculation of the country. See, if you get emasculation, you wouldn't have all these crazy shootings. They want to talk about toxic masculinity. I want to talk about the real definition of masculinity is that it is a set of behavioral standards, a matrix of behavioral protocols that cause men to act in a more or less acceptable way. In other words, when a male has adopted masculine protocols, he becomes a man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a man of peace until his heroism and bravery is called for. You get these gay boys, they want to look masculine, go around and spend hours in the gym working out. So what? That don't mean you have nerve. I know some little bitty guys, runts, that got more balls than somebody that looks like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Because they'll stand and deliver. See, it's about behavior. That matrix of behavioral protocols that makes a man a man. And see, that's why you have no peace in the ghetto, because men are supposed to be about promoting order, prosperity, and peace. We don't, because we don't have that masculine thing in us. We've got too much bitch. See, you take the typical thug, the hood rat, what you got is a bitch. You got a lesbian in a boy's body. Lesbian and a boy in the hood are raised the same way, like girls, dysfunctional girls. The boys like nookie. The lesbian likes nookie. The boy got boy plumbing. If the fairy godmother or some waved the magic wand and the lesbian woke up with boy plumbing tomorrow morning, there'd be no difference. That's what's going on. Yo, man, you know it's all about man pimping. No, it ain't, fool. You're just playing bitch.
And you know what? There's women out there, they want a man, they want the old school man back.
Oh, they do.
They want it.
See, this is the real secret. The overwhelming majority of women, white and black, want that.
Yeah.
But they're getting told that they're freaks for thinking that way. But they're not. They're normal. This abnormal stuff is not normal.
Yeah, like all this equal stuff. Like, how we equal if you're not doing the same work I'm doing? If you can't lift that much, I can lift.
Let me say something about equality.
Mm-hmm.
The real thing is it's about equality of worth, not equality of status or equality of ability.
Yes, sir.
Because it's about yin and yang, and it's a balance. The two forces, male and female, should be in balance. Male and female are not the same, but there are some overlapping points. You've seen that yin yang image where it looks like a black raindrop and a white raindrop, where the little thin part of the black is next to the thick part of the white, and the little thin part of the white is next to the thick part of the black.
Yes, sir.
What that stands for is that there are some overlapping things where women can do them. It's just that men can do them so much better. And then you go to the other side of the circle. Men can do them a little, but women do it so much better.
Right.
And you makes a complete picture where there's an equality of circumstance, but they are different colors because they represent different things. It's like, what is more valuable, a peach or a pear? Except in this case, pears are supposed to like peaches and peaches are supposed to like pears. Well, pears and apples can grow from the same tree, literally. You gotta deal with setting that up. But even if they grow on the same tree, an apple and a pear is not the same thing. But they can be of equal value. So it's about the equality of worth, not the equality of circumstance or situation. Well, how come men can do it but women can't? Well, how many guys can knock up the same woman at the same time? One. How many women can one guy knock up? A whole bunch. You know, it's still got to do with sexual dimorphism. How many bulls are in a cow's herd? One. How many cows are in a bull's herd? However many he can handle.
You know, Joe, I'm glad you brought that up. I was thinking about in a day and era where alpha men are not that many or in supply, will it be okay for alpha guys to get as many women as they can handle? Well,
you know, I've had professional women get in round table discussions with other women where I'm present saying, you know, men like me, that we ought to share him because we run into so many.
I love it.
Take care of business.
Right.
And you fuss about you don't feel like being bothered. Well, I might. And you can take a rest while I'm getting what I want. When I want to rest, you can have him for that time so he can take care of all of us rather than you running around. And by the way, this feminism is recreating the justification for a harem or a sereglo. Where one guy is capable, he can take care of the women that the other incapable males can't.
I like that. Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's to that point now.
Yeah, you gotta have your mind together. You gotta have your work, your ethic together. You gotta be able to think. And if you're running around trying to hustle, you're not contributing to the pie. You know, just leeching off of what's there, not adding anything to it.
Wow.
So, you know, how many husbands did one of Solomon's wives have?
0.
Yeah, one, him.
Right.
How
Yeah.
many husbands did Pharaoh's wife have?
Just one.
One.
Right.
How many wives did the Pharaoh have, or the Sultan have, or did Solomon have?
Mm. As many as they want. So could
So
handle
what
it.
you have, you got Solomon is a Jew. You've got the Sultan is Islamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got all those English kings that had all of the substitute harems. So, you know, that ain't nothing new. It's just like Islam says, 4 wives and unlimited concubines to the extent that you can afford.
Now, I have met women that don't want to vote for a woman as president, but they're okay with sharing a man as long as he take care of business, like you said.
Yeah. Like I've run into sisters and white women say,
Mm-hmm.
I've worked for a woman. Never again in hell do I want that to happen. So why do I want one to run stuff?
Right. Because they know they kind.
Say, I ain't got a problem with a man running shit.
Now, but women do, like, when you talk to women about this, honestly, a lot of them do have a problem sharing a man. It's like they don't want to share, but they sharing their man
A
anyway.
lot of them don't. But what I suggest to the women, in fact, Sherazade Ali said it in a book she wrote. She said women are honest with each other and they've got a male friend who they consider a brother or they're close to him. Ask him or think back to other male friends or brothers and say, honestly, how many of the men that they've known, not physically intimately, but just closely in life, have had just one woman? It ain't gonna happen. It might be more than one at a, not at, you know, it might be sequential,
Right.
but it ain't happening. And the more desirable your man is, the more he's driven. You know, like, that's one thing about politicians. They've been subject to all kinds of scandal. If you think salaciously and you act like you're running a tabloid, it's because they're herd bulls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, what's that joke? A young bull was standing on the side of a hill with his father, and they were looking down at all the cows. And the young bull said, Dad, when I grow up, you mean all of those cows are going to be mine? He said, Dad said, yep. He said, well, Dad, you mean all of mine? He said, yeah. In fact, I'm getting ready to turn them over to you now. I'm getting too old. He said, Dad, you mean if we run down there, we can screw them all? He said, nope. We can walk down there and screw them all. Save the energy.
Yes, sir.
And see, the feminists hate that. But you see, there is a movie out now. It's called Alpha. And actually, Alpha is not a male dog. It's a female wolf.
Okay.
All right. But it's supposed to be the first dog.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are discussing hunting. And where you start off, you get this young guy who is the son of the chieftain. And they discuss how vital this one yearly hunt is to the survival of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
But they say every time we have this hunt, some don't come back. So in other words, your task as a man is to put yourself in a position where every time we've had this hunt, some have failed to return because they got killed and walk with the ancestors. But it's your obligation and your glory to keep it up. See, that's what it's really about being a man. But oh, that's different. That's days in the past. Well, it could be tomorrow, you know. You've got global warming. You've got a lot of land that's getting wiped out by the rising sea levels. You've got drought. You're going to have famine, crop failures. You're going to have crowding. A lot of warfare as people got to fight again. It's a matter of, you know, who's going to eat day after tomorrow or starve.
Mm-hmm.
So masculinity, which is humankind's way of dealing with stress and danger, will have to become more paramount. But right when it's about to happen again, these clowns in this country are trying to destroy it. Remember, it's not about looks and appearance. It's about behavior. It's about a behavioral matrix, a set of protocols where the masculine human male becomes his own control factor, where you don't need police for law and order.
You know what, Judge? It's interesting you say that, 'cause I was thinking about, I have a supervisor job at one of my jobs I do, and the women don't have no problem with me, how I talk. And, I got this voice, but it's be the men that they say, oh, you talking a certain tone I don't like. But the women like that.
Oh, yeah.
They like that. They stern, like, yeah, he authoritative. Yes, sir. But it'd be the guys that complain, because a lot of them, like, single-parent homes or just very feminine. They got women and stuff, but they're feminine.
They didn't see men, let alone alpha men. They're beta boys, soy boys, and they should be in a subsidiary position. They got taught to be there by their mammies, so they didn't get the man training. Now, the women get, and by the way, it turns them on. They get hot, wet, and bothered with it.
It helps. It helps. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying, Judge. Yep.
Whereas never get nookie off your looks, get it off of your masculinity.
That's some problems. Yeah, a lot of guys need to hear what you're saying. I just think you're so relevant right now because we're not getting this.
Guys, man, the problem is your masculinity lacks. Well, yeah, I'm going to the gym. That's not the kind of masculinity I'm talking about. The kind of masculinity I'm talking about, the women can sense. They get wet in their panties when they run into it.
Yes, sir.
Look like a donut. You can get over because, like they say, you either may have the physical bulk or you got the bank account. One will do as good as the other, and the bank account will do better in the long run.
I know that's right. Yes, sir. But it's just refreshing to have these kind of conversation, because a lot of times they're trying to censor people. Like, you tell the truth, that's hate speech. Telling the truth about what's going on is hate speech now.
Hate speech is truth. There's always been a defense in American law, an absolute defense. You know what it is? Truth.
Wow.
See, that's the way to cut off defamation or action. This is alleged truth. All right, let's test it. I claim it's true.
Wow.
You a punk ass. All right. I'll take that position and I can prove your ass is a punk ass.
Right.